Taoist Magic Talk Show brought to you by Taoist Master จี师傅 and King Dragon Taoism ผู้亮天尊 Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. This is your จี师傅 right here again. Today we're going to talk about the death energy and funeral related things. So in your life, you might have people that give you a phone call and say, hey, who and who is dead, like that. And that is a common thing, but it's also a very problematic thing because people don't realize that funerals or like people dying, there's something more than just like taking care of the funeral and stuff like that. And I have seen people who told me that, they like going to funeral. That is crazy. Yeah, it's not right. So yeah, sometimes you can avoid it. Sometimes you can, right? But let us talk about what it is all about, like what's the thing that you need to be aware of and how you should deal with the problem, okay? So every one of us will pick up some energy here and there when we're alive, when we're like going through our everyday life, right? So we all have some clean, some dirty energy. So, for example, people are venting at you or cursing you or whatever like that, and you picked up those energy, right? And then eventually your body will try to dissolve it as you live your life, and maybe you go somewhere and your energy from that place that you picked up is a little bit more positive. It's kind of like balance out what you got, and it's kind of like even out what you have, so you don't get that much of an impact, and then you keep going and eventually you pick up something bad again, and then you pick up something good again, right? So it's like that. It's normal, right? In our life, we picked up some dirty stuff here, some clean stuff here, right? It's normal. But when you are dead, your body is being dissolved. Like your body is like a balloon, right? The balloon popped. Now the air inside, it's going out. Now, this process will start when the person dies. So it's not like starting when the body is actually destroyed. It's starting when the person is dead. The energy inside the body will vent out, all of it. Instead of like every day, when we walk around, we have the balloon holding on to all the air. And it's like, yeah, we pick up some dirty stuff. It goes into the balloon, right? And then we pick up some clean stuff. It still goes into the balloon. Nothing is being like, venting everything out. No, it's not like that. But when you're dead, everything goes out at once. And imagine if you have a lot of stuff that is not processed yet, like the dirty stuff inside you that is not being processed yet, but they're being suppressed, okay? Like they're inside are waiting to be dealt with, but then it's not done yet, right? But oh well, you're dead. So the balloon pops and everything is, and it goes out everywhere. And where does these things go? Well, first thing is, it goes to everywhere, everyone that is related to the person, or anyone that went to the funeral and have contact, anything like that, you picked up a bit of it. The closer or the more like, the closer you are with this person, relationship-wise, the more you will pick up. So the more you will feel the impact. Now, this, I cannot say like everyone will have super bad luck when you have this thing, because it all depends on how much pollution they are, how much negatives they are, right? So everyone is different. But in general, it's not going to be good, okay? And this stuff that sticks onto you can last for up to 3 years and more before it soaks and penetrates very deep into you because you haven't cleaned it up, right? So it goes into you, deep into you, and you cannot feel the symptoms anymore. So the first 3 years, you will still feel the symptoms. It affects your emotion, your mood, your everyday life, your performance at work, your luck, and so on. It affects everything. And it's definitely not something you want to keep with you. So, there are people who are sensitive to these things, and they also know that when they go around cemeteries or funeral homes and things like that, they don't feel well. That is right, because these energies are sticking around, and if you're around those places, you will feel those things. It's not good for human being. Now, some people will be like, hey, but I'm friend with this person, so he should not be harming me, right? Like, we are friends when we are like still alive. Right? He is like my best friend. Or maybe your grandmother or something like that, right? Should not be harming you. No, it's not like that person wants to hurt you. It's not like that. It's like, okay, let's say you love your wife, right? But your wife got COVID. So you stick around your wife, you will get COVID too, right? It contaminates. It's not like your wife hates you. That's why you will get the COVID, right? So this energy thing is like, because they have those things inside them, so when they die, it vents out. It's not like they don't like you and then they're like, coming back to take revenge on you. No, it's not like that, okay? It doesn't matter if they love you or hate you. It's still, that energy inside is still going to hurt any living being, because it's like human and virus or bacteria cannot live together. If we do, we are going to get sick. It's kind of like that kind of property. So you don't have to like think about you and that person, or your friend or enemy. You don't think about that side. It's just the energy property is not healthy to be around with. Okay. Yeah, like imagine living with a dead body, right? It's going to get you sick, right? So this is scary, because it comes like the connection can be built without the distant limitation. So you can be like, the person died in Hong Kong or somewhere in Asia, and you're like in USA or Canada, and you got a phone call, someone tell you, hey, your uncle died. That's it. That's the connection. Once this connection builds, like about it, then there will be something coming to you. That's just how crazy it is. Because in the spiritual dimension, right, there's no distance. Like anything can travel in a snap, just like internet, right? You click the URL and then boom, and then you went there. There's no distance. So as long as you know about it, the connection is built, and there will be something. There will be something, okay? Like a little or more, well, that depends. But there will be something, because the connection is built. Now, you might also think about watching the news. Hey, it tells me about like where disaster happened, and there are like so many people dying. Will I get negative energy from those? Well, yeah, a little bit, not a lot, because the thing is, they are not intentionally trying to tell you directly. Right? It's not directed at you, like they don't know you, right? It's just you bang into the news. So it's like, yeah, there is a connection for sure, but it's not like that it will be a lot of problems coming at you. So watching the news is not like that much of an issue to bother with, because the news is like so many people are watching it, right? So imagine you have like for example, we talk about this energy like little balls, okay? So like black balls. So there are like 1,000 black balls, but there are like, 3 million people sharing that black ball. Everyone get like maybe a fraction of a ball only, and it's not going to hurt a lot. But if you like, okay, your uncle died, there's like 1,000 black ball, and then there's only like 100 people who knows about it. Well, think about the share, right? Everyone get a few. So that's the thing. So watching the news is not that big of a problem. But if you encounter like a roadkill, like some animal got killed on the road, or you bang into it and kill the animal, or maybe you go hunting or something like that, that's a direct connection, and it will be more of that kind of energy going at you. Now, you will be thinking, hey, what about hunters or butchers, like people who kill chicken and things all their life? Well, yeah, you get more, like those career or hobbies will get you more of these energy. It will get you those things, okay? But it does affect you. So if you're like always killing, right, it affects your emotion, your things like that. It is something that will cause a lot of influence, I would say. Okay, it will influence you, and it will change your personality over time as well. So, yeah. Well, am I against hunting? No, I'm not against hunting, right? Because you can always, like as I say, you pick up bad stuff. You can always do good stuff to balance it out and then like even it out, right? It's like you got cold, you can always get yourself warm again. So there are things that you do which will help you to like dissolve the stuff or share it somewhere else and things like that. Now, without magic, okay, like with magic, you find me on the website, consult, and I will tell you what you can do. It's very simple. You can use a Taoism fool, or if you learn the magic, you can use a spell or like something like that faster to deal with this energy, and you can dissolve it really quickly. But here, I know a lot of people are not like ready to learn yet, right? So maybe you're not even like ready to purchase a food, right? You just want to know how you can deal with it without any magic. Well, the simple fact is you cannot deal with it with magic like 100%, but you can help yourself to like minimize the problem. So how can you do it? Normal people, right? Very simple. You go to a mall, like shopping mall, when it's like a period where a lot of people go, and you walk around and just like walk around the place and then go through like people. And what you're doing is you're like bringing that energy, and then you're picking up the energy from other people as you go around or interact with them. At the same time, you're also giving off your stuff to them. So it's kind of like you're taking people's like not stealing or ticking, that kind of ticking. You're like blending with them, right? At the same time, they kind of equalize what you got. So as you do that and you walk around, people pick up stuff, and then they also do the same. Like as they walk around, they also do the same thing. As they go shopping, they do that. And so the energy kind of like dilutes, inside that big pool of people. And as you do that more and interact more, you will eventually not get that much of an influence. So it's like in the past, when people are like having, for example, they always hunt or kill animals, right? They have a lot of those energy on them. So if they don't do other things to help them, then they will develop a bad personality or like, very negative kind of personality, like they're angry all the time, they're hot-headed all the time, things like that. But you can always do things like, for example, this person, they hunt, but they also go to the market to work. And then every day they interact with tons of people, right? So as they interact, talk a lot, people talk a lot in the market. Come. Discount. Very cheap. Like they always do that. As they talk, their energy is coming out of the body, right? So the energy comes out of their body and touches the product that they sell, or touches the people, the money, and everything that they interact with, and then it shares in the big pool of people in the society. So as a human being in a society, you have the ability to kind of do this to like, to make up for what you have that is not good from what you do. So you go hunting and do that stuff, you have all the bad energy, but as you go and do the sales part, right? You scream at the market and interact with people, you will also share it out and you kind of make up for it. It kind of wash it off. So that kind of thing, yeah. But nowadays, the problem is a lot of people just stay home, right? Like you don't go out and interact as much as the people in the old days. So we almost like, live in the internet. So that's the problem. You don't have a lot of interaction outside, and going to the forums or chatting with people online is not as like an effective way to share that energy around and mix around. So yeah, that's a big problem. Then you need something that is more efficient, which is magic, right? Going back to the main point. So if you need the help, right, you need to do the magic. Now some people will be concerned like, oh, if my uncle died or something and his energy is coming to me and I use magic on it, will I hurt him? No, the answer is no, you won't hurt him. You're helping him, because as his energy, like those negative energy, as they got dissolved faster, then that person in the other world, in the other dimension, can also transition to the next phase earlier, and that will reduce their suffering. Meaning that like they're like when they die during that time, when like before they can actually become a ghost, okay, like in the other dimension, there's like a transition stage, and that stage is very suffering. It's like you are in the process of a like a half dream process, but you are conscious, okay? You feel, you know where you are, and you're scared because the thing is you cannot move, and you can see a lot of like blurry lights, and you can hear a lot of sounds, and you don't know what's going on, and you're afraid. That's basically what happened to a lot of ghosts. So during that time, they have a period of like scare, afraid, fear, you know, like that, panicking, that kind of state, because they don't know what's going on, and they still have their memory, and they still know what, like, they know who they are. They have their memory, their conscience, okay? So it becomes a very scary state for them. And they're like wondering what's going to happen next, you know, like that. So if you can dissolve, or every one of them, the people can dissolve the energy quicker, then this person can move on faster and then become a like official ghost. So they will be like officially in the next dimension that they belongs to, and they can now see things, like their vision in that dimension can be developed, so they can see, and then soon they can move, and like so on. So it's like a baby, right? When you're first born, your vision is blurred, your hearing is blurry, right? So as you develop and mature, you start to see the world clearly and hear the world clearly. That's what happened to the ghosts as well, right? So if you don't dissolve that energy, they're going to get stuck in the middle, and, you know, it takes longer time for them to move on. So don't be afraid of dissolving this energy. You're actually helping them to dissolve and move on like that, okay? And one more tip is like, do not keep their bone ashes around. Okay, the dead people's bone ashes, right? Just leave it where they should be. don't keep it around. Okay, it's not good for you. It's gonna, you know, get you some bad luck. So it's kind of the same kind of problem, right? It has the energy that is not good for you. So bury it into the ground or something, you know, like that. And okay, so visiting cemeteries, or people like going to a place where they can worship their ancestor, right? Some people do that, like put their ancestors' ash in a temple or a shrine or something like that, and they go worship it, right? Is that a good thing to do? Well, you don't have to do that. Like, okay, if I'm helping you to open an ancestor altar at your home, right? We can do that remotely. If you have an ancestor altar at home, you don't need the ash. You can use the altar as like a channel, and you can tell them things and like talk to them by distance. Okay, so you can already communicate with them by distance using the altar. Then you don't need to visit those places. Sorry. So do you really need to have like, you know, a place in the cemetery? Well, yeah, you don't really need one, but if you want one, you can have one, right? It's not like it's a problem, but for me, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, you not really need it. But most people, right, if you really want to talk to your ancestor, you can have an altar at home and build an altar, and you can use the altar as a portal. It's fine. It's totally fine, right? And, well, I think in the next episode, we got to talk about how that thing actually worked, because we only have like 12 seconds left. So I got to stop here. Exciting topic. So next episode, I think I will talk about the ancestor altar. That's a nice one. Lots of people were asking me like how that thing actually worked. So anyway, if you have these problems, like you are facing, you know, people dying or going to funeral, these things, and you need help, feel free to find me by email, and or go to my website, and I will help you out. Okay, so see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.